So I can ask you a couple questions.
Ask me away.
Okay. What year did you
I
serve?
served in December of 73.
December
to
73.
October 75, correct.
And what kind of discrimination or lack of service are you suffering right now?
Well, I am suffering from PTSD.
Yeah.
Which is one of the major subjects that we
Traumatic disorder.
Exactly. It's post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Most every veteran that comes out of war suffers what no civilian has seen in their lifetime.
Right.
For me, when I landed in Okinawa,
yes,
I encountered body parts all over the place.
Whoa.
I was 17 years old when I went into the service.
Wow.
The government...
No, I thought you had to be 18 to join.
1973, didn't matter what age was.
Okay.
They were being drafted from 69
yes,
to 70s.
To 70.
They were being drafted.
At that age, at that young age.
17, yes.
Okay.
I volunteered to go.
Okay.
Because I saw my friends.
That's great. That's great.
But I didn't know what was in front of me when I went in.
Are you homeless or anything like that?
I'm a homeless vet. Yes, sir.
You are a homeless vet? Wow. And I mean, they're not social programs that are established within New York City that will say, for instance, that you are a person who fought in Vietnam.
Depending on my cardboard here,
yeah,
what I wrote there, the VA has failed us. The Veteran Administration is not helping no vets.
Okay.
The VA hospitals are killing our vets.
Okay, and a lot of the guys that are homeless, that are on the street, a lot of them are veterans also.
That is correct.
Right? And you're saying that other than the VA hospital that's up in the Bronx, it is?
There's one in the Bronx, there's one in Manhattan and 23rd Street.
Yeah.
Kingsbridge, Brooklyn.
So what kind of service do they provide?
They're providing no services. That's just the point.
They're not veterans that are occupying those beds in those?
Those who are in the hospital right now are going to die. That's a fact.
Oh. So they just take them in when they're on their last leg.
Correct.
When they're out on the street and they can be beneficial in the knowledge that they provide. Correct. They're not getting the necessary, needed help.
They're not getting the help that they should.
How did you become homeless?
Well, I lost my job.
Yes.
When I came out the service, and ever since then I kept going to the VA. Yeah. For help.
Yes.
I was getting booted out of the VA.
Whoa, because they just class you as not needing that help.
Well, they say is that we'll get back to you, and we'll get back to you. We'll never.
So it's like they're waiting until you're on your last breath to put you in the hospital.
That's correct.
Okay, correct. I want to ask you one question. Here in Times Square, they have a recruitment center with a great big U.S. flag, red, green, blue, and white flag.
Right.
Were you aware that this year, for Fleet Week, the sailors came off their ship and that flag was covered?
I wasn't aware of that.
You didn't pay attention to that?
I was not aware of that.
That's a part of your argument that you should make. Correct. When things like that occur. Are you aware that right now the flag also remained covered on the 4th of July? You're not aware of that?
I'm not aware of that also.
Well, that's a fact. And are you aware that right now, they as a courtesy, they removed the white tarp from just one side of the flag, but the emblems of the Navy, Air Force, Marine, and Army are not on that recruitment center. You see, I've seen you out here a couple of days. And that's a part of your argument that you should make to your brothers.
I'll take that.
Investigate it and make that a part of your. And that's what I'd like to see, brother, because I was up in that window watching you all morning.
Yes, sir.
And I made an argument. My evidence is on YouTube because I posted it before the 4th of July.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? My evidence in there, and I was like, there he is, and I see so many veterans out here. And I said, why isn't he making this relevant point? The boys came off the ship. And there was no flag.
No flags whatsoever.
No flag whatsoever. No flag whatsoever. And it was moving into the 4th of July. and there was no flag. And there is another argument that I would like to make about another aspect of our society that has been given rights to get marriage. And if most Americans don't understand, I'm talking about homosexual marriage. And right to the right of where that flag should be uncovered and those emblems should be was a flag, the rainbow flag. Yes, if you go into Times Square, you see the flag that's there, that's lit on nights. And it was covered for Fleet Week, and it was covered for the 4th of July. But if you would move your eyes just to the right of it as you move deeper into Times Square, there was a rainbow flag in the window. It says challenge XXX right now. Because I made an argument about it, and I don't want to put myself up on a pedestal and say that was because I made the argument. Because I spoke to 2 sergeants that are on post in Times Square. I made the argument to them. Why is that? I asked them the question because they're heads of security of different posts. Okay. And I asked them that question. And all of a sudden, for the 4th of July, they didn't uncover the flag, but they covered up the rainbow flag and put channel XXX. So I can assume that it's because the homosexuals have been given new liberty, and they're truly, because, well, we know wealth goes around in a certain way. But I want to ask you another question. If you were to turn around, right, and take a look at Bryant Park, for instance, do you see all the flowers are pink?
Oh, I just realized.
Yeah, you just realized that, right? Do you see all of your neighbors wearing little pink? Everyone's wearing little pink. Yeah. Even your telephone is pink because you want to be with the style. Right. Right, sir? But there is other reasons behind why that. Last year I have pictures and pictures of Bryant Park with multiple colors. But because the pink, I'm wondering, why is this pink and this shade of pink? Even you got into it. See your phone? See your phone? You're a man of the vet. How many Vietnam vet would you see with a piece of pink back in your days?
None.
None.
Zero.
None. Zero. Could you do that again, sir? Zero. Because it would be a stigma behind it.
Absolutely.
But there should not be a stigma because our judicial branch, which is the Supreme Court of the United States, has ruled that marriage stands. But my theory is that pink there and that pink there that we think is just a fashion, and the sudden appearance of the rainbow flag and the American flag being torn down, because that's what it was, torn down. And that's what it is right now. There are no emblem of the 4 branches of our military service in Times Square right now. And this man is standing here talking about the injustice that he's been. But the injustice is much more nefarious than most people realize. It could be an assumption, but the assumption keep coming up in different places. My friend says in Vietnam, no serviceman would be holding a piece of pink because they would think of themselves as homosexual, or people would think of themselves as being homosexual. But is it so wrong that someone wants to be something else? No, it isn't. But when we are sporting fashion, we should know the real reason why they're there. When the flag down there on 42nd Times Square is covered, the red, white, and blue, and the rainbow is unfurled. Have a nice day, sir.
Thank you.
I'll be posting this.
Got it.
And as I leave him there, and I'm gonna move down there to 42nd, and I'll give you a picture of exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying that everyone that is wearing this color is proclaiming any type of homosexuality or anything. I'm just saying that people is taking it as a fashion statement. But what kind of fashion statement are we at? Is it bad? Is it doing us some kind of damage? No. But is there someone sitting in the background with other reasons saying that this is a symbol that they don't even know what it is? You know, as we see the American flag there, still surrounded by, and there are no emblems there. And the side of the recruitment center monument, government property, excuse me, ma'am, that space in traffic that flows out of Times Square is covered. You see? Is covered. Is it? Yeah. And you'll see men with their shoes now, with that little pink in it. You don't have to take my word for it. As you walk down the street, notice. No, it's just a color, right? It's just a color. But there you will have it. American flag covered, and it's been there for like that for months. And our boys is in Afghanistan, they're in Iraq, and they're dying. And the symbol that protects them, that reassures them when they get a little leave to come home, are covered. And what I was talking about, as we move into Times Square, as you move into Times Square from there past the police station, that's just newly, within, I would say, about 4 or 5 days been uncovered. That was covered for Fleet Week and for the 4th of July. And where you see Challenge XXX, instead of it saying Challenge XXX, the rainbow flag was in that window. Yeah. For Fleet Week. And I'm not saying for 4th of July. I think on the day before 4th of July, they changed it to Challenge XXX. But in that window. So your eye would go from no flag up until a couple of days ago to the rainbow flag. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just got a crazy diabolical mind. And there is no diabolical to it, right? Well, homosexual has the right to get married to each other and to be free as anyone else per order of the Supreme Court. Me, I would say it shouldn't take order of the Supreme Court. Everyone is entitled to their own personal feeling. But when you try to change the system and the guidelines that has brought this country this far over these hundreds of years, even though when we think about slavery, that was wrong, there were still guidelines there. You know, even the slave master used to rationalize and justify his action by saying, I can prove it to you in the Bible that you are such and such percentage of a human being. You're not fully human being. He had to justify it. So justify why you think that your flag or any other flag should take precedent over the red, white, and blue.